Thank you so much if you're watching this video and if you watch my prior videos as well. The last video we went over troubleshooting common networking issues. I felt like that was one of my more lengthy ones, but definitely one of the most robust in terms of different types of information we covered. Could have been a little bit more robust, but I don't like my videos being longer than they have to be, and that video had to be very lengthy in order to get a little bit further than a initial nitty gritty of the troubleshooting network issues. But nonetheless, we can move forward to this particular video where we're going to be going over cloud concepts. Just to give a brief overview, we're going to go over cloud service providers, GCP, AWS, of course, Azure cloud models, different cloud services, and cloud connectivity options, and also the benefits of a cloud infrastructure. It's going to be very promising to be extremely fun. So let's actually go ahead and get into the first one. Now, cloud service providers, in the simplest terms, the cloud is a vast network of devices that certain companies have made accessible to their customers via the internet. And the internet, at least as we know it today, existed, of course, since '96. And companies like Yahoo and Hotmail offer their own software as a service models, or SaaS, although we may be familiar with the capabilities of the cloud storage technology is widely adopted in contemporary communication, like OneDrive and Google Drive. But that being said, it's not simply storage that can be provisioned in the cloud environment, but instead whole networks, infrastructure, software, and many more applications that businesses are adopting as a more cost-effective method of IT delivery to people who you speak to, of course. And due to the many features and functionalities of cloud environments, many different companies exist that provide these services. Like, again, as I mentioned, Amazon Web Service or AWS, Microsoft Azure. And we're going to explore the different aspects of both AWS and Azure in particular. There's also Google Chronicle, but that's not as widely known or used, at least to my knowledge, as well as or as much as AWS and Azure. Now, Microsoft Azure, that they have data centers and regions. Now, Azure is Microsoft's public cloud platform, which can create various cloud services and application. Now, the cloud service for Azure has a global footprint of data centers worldwide, with new data centers opening in the new regions regularly. Now, I'm just going to go over the different data center locations and regions for Azure that's going to be explored. So with that being said, I'm going to go open Microsoft Edge here so we can head to a website. Um, if it ever loads for me. All right, so what we're looking at is in the Azure infrastructure web page, right? And this is an interactive map that can be used to explore the different locations of the Azure data centers. Now, the different regions and locations of the Azure data centers, while they are different, the web page also contains more information regarding the different regions, and this website is just updated on a regular basis, right? So what they also have is, I'll open up a new tab. What they also have is the Microsoft Azure pricing calculator, which is very beneficial for, of course, any enterprise or small business that wants to use cloud service, at least particular Azure. Um, let's see. Now, creating resources on the cloud service provider includes, of course, it involves a specific cost. Not sure what happened here. And companies, they need to assess the cost involved when planning to migrate resources. And I'm going to get into that a bit on another video in my cloud series. Uh, Migrate resources to a cloud service provider, right? All right. Now, any resource that's created will have a specific cost associated with it, and the subscription will be charged according to the consumption of the specific resource on a pay-as-you-go billing methodology. I've actually experienced this personally with AWS. I did some personal projects, and I forgot to close what I built, and I was still getting charged, and they definitely sent me a nice bill, not too much that I, put me in a poorhouse, but definitely they will bill you on the pay-as-you-go methodology, not just Azure, but with AWS as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Azure pricing calculator to be used to investigate the cost involved in the hosting of resources on the Azure platform. So, so now that I'm at the website, let's take a look at the Um, so actually take a look at the virtual machines here. I pass it already? Yes, I did. More than likely. Let's see, there it is. Actually, you know what? Oh no, let me go back to box. Okay, that's fine. I'll just keep it in the estimate there. All right, and let's see. Let's actually view the virtual machine. Not seeing what I want. There we go. That's what I wanted. I'm going to change this to UK South. Now, the different regions and resources can be created in Azure are here. By the way, now the region can be changed according to your location, but for the purpose of my exercise, I'm going to do the UK South region. Um, Now for the instance, actually, let's see, let's do this one. Actually, let's see if they have, really don't like the screen. Okay, that's a bit much hard to gig. I'm looking for the D storage. Okay, they don't have exactly what I'm looking for. Which is fine. I'll just use 224. Um Storage. Shot. Can't find it. See, maybe I overlooked it. Oh, it's not here. Oh, it might be here. That's not. All right, perfect. Now, different virtual machine sizes, as you saw, have different costs. And the company can use the pricing calculator to estimate the amount a specific VM would cost per month, depending on the resource utilization, of course. Now, just going to scroll down here so we can see the average cost. It's going to be about 651, depending on your company. I mean, that's not a whole lot. And usually the default currency is USD. And as you can see, I mean, you can definitely save some money doing everything up front, which is honestly something I would do as an enterprise. I've never been a CTO or anything of the sort, but nonetheless, I mean, it seems fairly cheap, but you would still try to at least see what would be your best way to get a discount. And actually, it came up to 788. Actually, I didn't scroll down far enough. So let's take a look at what it will cost the United Kingdom. Probably roughly about the same piece now. All right, so it'll be 621 pounds. What USD is equivalent to 0.79. So not a huge difference, but a difference there. And the currency can be changed according to like a specific currency to get a better understanding of the cost involved in creating resources on the Azure platform. But for this, we're just going to use British pounds. Well, we were using British pounds. I'm going to close it out now. All right, so now let's take a look at AWS data centers or regions. I love the GUI of AWS the best out of all the different platforms in my personal opinion, but nonetheless is another public cloud service provider that can be used to create specific cloud resources, and it's available in a lot of different countries and regions, right? So we're going to explore where it can be, where it's available, where it can be explored. So take a look here. And we're here. It looks a bit different than Azure's on at first glance, right? Because it's more of wordy kind of thing. It doesn't go straight to a globe and, has a interface. I like the fact that it has a bit of both, and you can choose it like this. I don't know why, but I kind of like this way better. Just going to click on Europe just to keep everything congruent from when we looked at Azure, right? And there's different available regions, right, that we can see here. So you can see Spain and when it was launched and how many availability zones, London, Ireland. All right. And we can, by browsing, we can see the specific regions and everything, local zones and everything. Right. And Amazon Web Service also has a pricing calculator, right? And because creating, resources on a CSP involves a specific costing structure and specific costs are again associated with different resources that are created. So we can actually take a look here at their very own price calculator, right? And okay, so look at Amazon being on it. Awesome. All right, so let's actually create an estimate. And let's see if we can scroll down to EC2, which I believe stands for Elastic Cloud. There it is. How you doing, buddy? Let's configure it. We're gonna do let's do Europe and London. Pretty cloudy there. Okay. Nonetheless, this is fine. Now, depending on the region you reside in, it can be changed accordingly for the purpose of the lab. I'm going to use Europe, London. Now, just going to scroll to the middle here. We can see that Amazon is providing different hosting options based on predefined specification, right? And you can change the specification of the EC2 instance to regenerate estimate figures because there are several different OSs that are available with different price ranges, and a company, of course, can select the specific OS and estimate the cost per month for the OS, right? So I'm going to exit out of here, not going to get too deep into that. But nonetheless, that is the two different cloud models, at least the two most popular. Now, different cloud models exist depending on what a company would like to use the cloud infrastructure for, right? And there's different cloud models that can be broken down into like private cloud, public, hybrid, community. And we're going to cover the different types of cloud models and how these different models can be applied in an IT infrastructure and the benefits of these different models, right? So you have your I'm going to go over very briefly private cloud, which is implemented by a company using its own hardware, right? And the specific computer hardware needs to be purchased, implemented, and maintained by the company. Then you have your public cloud infrastructure, where the computer resources are procured, implemented, and maintained by a third-party provider, for example, Microsoft, right? Then you have your hybrid cloud, which is a combination of public and private, naturally, right, where the services are provided, are shared between the different infrastructures. And then you have your community infrastructure that refers to shared cloud computing resources that are shared between a set of organizations with the same business goals. For example, like a university or college, right? And they have the same or similar security privacy, which is not good. Um, to begin with, that's a story for another day. Now, these cloud infrastructures may be managed by a single org or third-party provider and be hosted on a premise or in a data center. Now, there is different cloud services along with different models. So these cloud services are available on all the cloud service providers and are not vendor specific, right? So there's three main types of cloud service providers, either by private or public. So you have infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, desktop as a service, infrastructure as code. And there's a couple different ways you can actually go about it, right? I'm not going to get too much into those, but I just wanted to make sure we have those covered. Then you have cloud connectivity options, which are resources that are created on a cloud service provider that need to be accessed by the customer securely. And that's something else I'm going to get into in another video as far as different responsibilities or shared responsibilities when you have a cloud provider. You can do direct but yeah, there's different implications that come with using cloud services, like security implications need to be taken into account, right? Like data security, resource availability, software connection interface, the data's location, right? And then we want to cover the benefits of a cloud infrastructure, right? And a specific consideration that need to be taken when adopting a specific cloud model. So like the benefits would be the infrastructure costs, would not need any upfront infrastructure costs, the hardware used for creating and utilizing specific services, kind of like the Airbnb long-term rental or Turo of technology, really. And then if you want to put it in a nutshell, then you have resource availability, scalability, high availability, elasticity, right? What I mentioned earlier, right? And that's pretty much it. I didn't again want to make the video too long. This is not a cloud series. This is the networking series, but there's cloud concepts intertwined with networking. I just want to touch that, and I'll have a specific series going over general cloud and also specifically for Azure and one specifically for AWS, is going to be pretty lengthy. But nonetheless, just for a brief recap of this video, we went over just general cloud concepts, talked about cloud service providers, cloud models, different cloud services, cloud connectivity options, and also the benefits of a cloud infrastructures, price calculator, data centers, and regions, and things of that nature, and different, versions of cloud like platform as a service, software as a service, and things of that nature. But nonetheless, this one was definitely fun. It actually made me want to take a look over the cloud portion that I'm going to post as far as video wise. I can't wait to start on that. This one was certainly, again, a lot of fun. Now, on the next video, we're going to get into even more fun things. We're going to actually go over networking device monitoring. So I hope to see you there. Stay curious, stay secure.